Howdy, welcome to Bass's Backyard Barbecue. I am Dan Bass, and I'm your host. Today we're cooking pork ribeyes. Some of y'all might have never heard the term a pork ribeye. It's basically a pork chop. It has a lot of marbling in it, just like a beef ribeye does. And that gives a lot of good flavor to it. Alright, first for the seasoning, what am I going to use today? Paprika, of course. Always use paprika. It goes great with beef and with pork. It's also good on fish, lamb. I don't know any meat that's not good with paprika. I'm going to add some organic hot pepper blend. Not too much, just enough to add a little bit of heat and flavor. You can always add more later if you want to. Alright, we're going to put a little bit of ancho chili pepper as well. It's just a little bit more robust of a flavor than regular chili powder. A little bit stronger of an aroma as well. It's not too spicy, but it's definitely good flavor. And we're also going to add some minced garlic. And before we put it on the pork ribeyes, we're going to drain it. So get a paper towel. And then we just dollop a little bit on the paper towel. Bring it over here so you can see. Spread it out. I want to soak up some of the moisture off of the minced garlic, because we're still essentially doing a dry rub. So we'll be adding more moisture on top of the pork ribeyes after they're on the grill by applying a sop, of course. Alright, if we got a lot of moisture off of the minced garlic, let's go ahead and scoop it onto our ribeyes. And the method that I'm doing here, you can pretty much do the same thing with a beef ribeye, but with the pork ribeye, we're going to cook it a little bit more thoroughly than we would with a beef ribeye. With beef, you can leave it medium. You can even go less than medium and be safe. But with pork, you really need to cook it a little bit further through. All right, then I'm going to add a little bit of this Mexican brown sugar. Just kind of work everything into the meat a little bit. Massage it in. Alright, I'm going to season up the other side and get them put into a Ziploc bag and stick them in the fridge for just about an hour, hour and a half, while I prepare the rest of the stuff for the meal and get the grill going, and that'll let the seasoning soak into the ribeye. Let's go ahead and get the grill started. Come on over here. Everybody likes to see fire. Right, our coals are good and ready. Let's go ahead and get them dumped out. And since what we're doing today is a grilling method and not so much a smoking method, we're going to put the coals over here in the actual cooking chamber. Alright, I'm going to spread these coals out a little bit, and then we're going to get the pork ribeyes on the grill. Alright, while I was adjusting my camera, I accidentally erased the video of me placing the pork ribeyes on the grill. So let me talk you through what I just did. I've got the coals spread out there in the center, and I placed the pork ribeyes along the outskirts of where the coals are. That'll start bringing the internal temperature of the pork ribeyes up so that the outside of the ribeyes don't get charred before the center gets done. After the temperature of the meat comes up a little bit, I'll kind of scoot them in over the actual coal base, and we'll get a good char on the outside before we pull them off. And of course I put some sausage on. This is just some Texas Heritage pork and venison sausage from HEB. Pretty good for store-bought sausage. It's tasty. Alright, we'll come back to that just a little bit later. While that's continuing to cook, I'll bring you over and show you my garden that I planted a while back. I've got another YouTube playlist of me building this raised bed and planting everything. My kids helped me out. It was a fun project. We've got some spearmint, very aromatic, delicious, and helps keep the bugs away from the garden as well. Also has some basil or basil, depending on your pronunciation persuasion. And then strawberries. Got a cute little guy growing right there. We've only gotten a few strawberries so far. I don't think they've pollinated quite as well as I would have hoped, but there's some more growing. And right over here, we've got some grape tomatoes, and they are going like crazy. We've already got a bunch of them, and got a bunch more waiting to ripen up to harvest. That is an extremely productive plant. Then here, this is supposed to be a sweet red pepper plant, and I'm assuming that they'll turn red after a while. But got quite a few of those growing on it. So this one's doing really well. And that plant was this tall when I planted it. It's going like crazy. Over here we got the cucumbers, and they are beautiful. The plant is. It's growing. I had to build a trellis up for it. And those were just tiny little seedlings when I planted them. We've got lots of flowers, but we have no fruit at all. So I've started pollinating them myself, just using a Q-tip, going from flower to flower, and also interspersing from the other flowers in the garden. So hopefully we'll start getting some fruit from that, because the plant looks really healthy. I guess we just don't have too many bees around here right now. But my black creme tomatoes are doing fantastic. It's an heirloom variety, and there must be 50 tomatoes growing on it already. They're all still green, but they're getting bigger each day. There's a nice big one right there. So those are going to turn out fantastic. And they are taller than me. Just huge. It's almost a 7-foot tomato plant. Never heard of such a thing. So after my tomatoes actually start coming in, I'm going to use some of my homegrown tomatoes and put together my very own barbecue sauce for you guys on Bass's Backyard Barbecue. So that'll be a fun project that we'll undertake here in a couple weeks. Okay. Let's come back over here and see how the pork ribeyes are doing. Wow, that's smelling good already. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and flip them over and apply a sop to the back side here. Okay, it's now time to prepare our sop for the pork ribeyes. And instead of using the pickle juice that I've been using most of the time, We're going to use some of the juice from the candied jalapenos right here. This is a delicious product. It's got a little bit of a kick to it, but it's also pretty sweet. So that'll be real nice. We're going to add some yellow mustard, of course Austin's own barbecue sauce, and some sun-dried tomato salad dressing, and then a little extra fat with the avocado oil to help keep things from drying out and protect the meat while it's over the heat. So that's what we're going with. Show you what that's looking like already. Tasty. Okay. Let's give our sop a little stir. And as my daughter says, it's time to paint the meat. Just paint it on. And we'll give a little swipe to the sausage. Alright, we'll be back in just about, probably 5 or 7 minutes. We'll flip them over and sop the other backside. Okay, we're back. Things are looking delicious, and I don't usually use a meat thermometer. Maybe one day I'll bring one out and show you how to use one. That'd be a good video. But the internal temperature of a pork chop needs to be 145 degrees to be considered safe. So try to get close to that. And the more you do this, the less you'll actually need a thermometer to know when your meat is done. But it's moving right along. The internal cooking temperature here of the pit has been, it was right about 275 before I opened it up. And to adjust that a little bit, you can raise the smokestack cover. You can open that up and let some of the heat escape. And as long as you have your air inlet, you can see that. As long as you have your air inlet closed, you're not actually sucking in more oxygen when you open up the top. So it will keep the temperature down a little bit. Alright, we're going to go ahead and flip stuff over and apply sop to the other side. This is looking perfect. Okay, our next step here is to sear each side for just a couple of moments over the heat of the coals. And then we're going to wrap them up in foil with some fresh sliced jalapenos, some apple rings, and some onion rings. And then they'll rest in the foil for probably about 10 minutes over here on the side. And then we'll take them out and slice them up and see what they look like. What did you find?
Froggy.
You got a little froggy.
Froggy.
No, little froggy.
But we are not going to cook it.
No, we're not going to grill the frog.
No.
That's for a different episode, not this one.
That's for no episode.
You don't want me to grill frogs ever?
No.
But they taste good. Hop.
Thank you.
Oh, goodness. Poor frogs. Let's wrap one of these guys up. Right there. Onion slice. Apple slice. 2 jalapeno slice.
And then fold.
And then fold it up. Hello. You stole my apple slice.
Huh?
You stole one of my apple slices. Alright. We're just going to repeat that for all of these, and then they'll sit over here in the corner for about 10 minutes, like I said. Okay, it is now time to unwrap the pork ribeyes. Set you down for just a second.
Looks so good.
Yes.
Spicy.
There is the pork ribeye. It is beautiful, juicy. You cut it with a fork. Fantastic. Well, I'm going to get them all set over here with the sliced up sausage, and we're going to put it on the table and eat it. All right, this is Dan Bass with Bass's Backyard Barbecue, signing off. Thanks for joining me. Bye.